Welcome. Welcome to a new session where we will be looking at the differences between the energy of objects, food, and in reality, any living or non-living being. But the reality is that any object, whether it is food, right, or something that comes from a tree, or something that comes from an animal, or whatever it may be, everything is alive. Why do I say that everything is alive? Because even this table has its own energy. Trees have their own energy. Inside this box there are eggs, and they have their own energy. But the box, which does not come from any animal, from any plant, and is a dead object, also has its own energy. And understanding this is key, because we are constantly exposed to a reality that is energetic. That is to say, everything contains its own substance. My shirt has been absorbing my energy over time. This box has been absorbing the energy from the eggs, obviously. In other words, everything is in contact with everything, and everything influences everything. And when we start to understand this, that is really when our reality changes. Understanding that everything has its own energy, and that nutrients, even in food, go far beyond physical nutrients, as they also have energetic nutrients. And this is what we are going to discover today, because today I am going to teach you how to explore the energy of your food. In reality, with what you learn today, you will be able to explore and discern the energy of any object. I really want you to pay close attention to what I am about to tell you. We must be careful with the gifts we accept, the clothes we wear, and in general, understand that behind the form, right? Behind things, there is a substance called energy, and that is the life behind the form, and it is what truly influences us. If, for example, right, this banana, you would say, oh, this banana is healthy, right? Let's say it has to be healthy, or this mango has to be healthy if it was grown in good conditions, all natural, without chemicals, I don't know what. But if a person, right, negatively charges this mango, emits a lot of negativity, or if that mango has passed through a place where there is a lot of suffering, a lot of negativity, or other factors, this mango will also carry that energy. And evidently, by working this way, we can begin to discern, or at least connect, in a deeper way with energetic reality. So let's go for it. Before we start, I will introduce myself as always. My name is Luchem, and I am an energy therapist and trainer with over 6 years of experience, during which I have helped thousands of people heal their physical or psychological health through energy therapy. From mild cases, migraines, digestive issues, muscle aches, and even serious cases of illnesses I cannot name here because, well, Mr. YouTube will ban me. We have also worked with psychological issues, trauma, anxiety, depression. In other words, the methodology we have developed, called Vital Alchemy, serves to heal any ailment in any area of health, and even to enhance our lives. Because, what do you think will happen when you suddenly become aware, just with this realization, which is 1% of everything you can learn with me or less, when you realize that everything has that level of depth? Well, obviously, on one hand, when you truly learn, you can even heal a person. Success stories, as I tell you, are brutal, and you can even identify the energy of an object you have. Because if you are with an object all day that is dirty or energetically charged, that energy goes directly to you. That, for example, happens a lot with spiritual people who love to wear minerals. Minerals absorb a lot of energy. And if you are in conflicting environments, or experience imbalances in your day-to-day life, that mineral absorbs it, and then you are constantly accompanied by that energy. Not all minerals protect. Actually, you have to keep in mind that some can even be counterproductive. But I have another class where I talk about this. In any case, now, for real, let's begin, and today's class will be divided into two main points. First, we're going to activate the chakras in the palms of our hands, and now we are going to perform this activity, which basically serves to activate our energy sensitivity. It is possible that you may have already done this exercise in another video, and then we are going to explore food, or at home you can actually choose any type of object. It does not have to be food, it can be a plant, it can be an inanimate object, it can be whatever. Whatever comes to mind. It could be a bracelet, a necklace, a piece of clothing, whatever you want. That said, I invite you to have it ready on a table before starting the exercise, and to eliminate any kind of distraction. We're going to go 100% with this. I do not work with people who go halfway. If you're going to do this class, do it with 100% commitment, and if not, with much love. I tell you that I didn't want you here. Do this only if you are going to make it to the end. If you do not have the capacity to reach the end of this video and live this experience, keep scrolling, keep doing anything else. Something I always tell students before they enter the school is, okay, do you want to do this? Yes, I want to do this, I want to do this. Okay, you want to do this, but I need you to be committed. I can give you everything. I can give you knowledge that even doctors, surgeons, and many people say, wow, did you really achieve this? Without question of, wow, did you really achieve this? They will only ask you that if you commit to participating. If you are a person who lacks the ability to commit, get out of here. If you are a 100% committed person who is going to give it your all, let's do it. As I told you, we are going to activate the chakras in the palms of our hands, and then we will go through an exploration process that I recommend doing with 3 or 4 objects. So, without further ado, let's do it. Very well. Right now we are going to activate the chakras we have in the palms of our hands, and here is how it works. Basically, we are going to activate them because by activating them we trigger energetic sensitivity, and that means we can begin to explore, and even with the proper knowledge, be able to treat the energetic health of a person, or the energetic health of absolutely anything, a space, a relationship, a project, everything. In this case, we will do it to explore the energy of objects or food, and start to develop that energetic discernment. So, without further ado, let's get to it. So I invite you to place your palms facing up. You don't need to raise them that high. If you are at a table, you can rest them on top and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths, inhaling through your nose, and exhaling through the mouth, while lovingly connecting with your body awareness. You can even smile a little to better connect with yourself. Little by little, we are going to bring our attention to the palms of our hand while we breathe. I want you to also bring your attention to the space surrounding the palms of your hands. That is, as if on one hand you were focusing on the physical part, but also toward this area in front, right? As if you were also occupying that space. And as you inhale, feel how you breathe in energy, with much love through the palms of your hands. And as you exhale, how you exhale energy. Literally as if, at the same time you inhale, the palms of your hands also inhaled, and as you exhale, as if the palms of your hands also exhaled. To stay in this process with the greatest possible concentration. Feeling how your hands breathe. Now I want you to slowly bring them closer with the intention of opening yourself to these subtle perceptions that awaken. Bring one hand toward the other and see what you feel. What is your unique way of feeling energy? You can bring them closer to your body. Or between them and pay attention. See what subtle sensations awaken. You can continue with this exercise for a few more minutes. It simply consists of, with concentration and internal connection, bringing your attention to the palms of your hands, both to the physical and energetic area, that is, to the space that surrounds them. Set the intention to inhale energy and exhale energy. You can feel it, as I say, as if when you inhale through your nose, you feel your hands inhaling too, and when you exhale, you feel them exhaling as well. We will now move on to the next part. As I say, if you feel you need to activate the sensitivity more, you can stay with this exercise for a few more minutes, as long as you need. You can do this every day for 5 minutes to do this internal work. And as I tell you, without further ado, let us explore the energy of food. Very well. At the point where we have already activated the chakras in the palms of our hands, we are going to perform the following practice, which is to explore the different types of food or objects. Throughout this minute, before I express a few things I want to share with you, I want you to keep the following in mind. And that is, I want you to move your hand toward each of the objects, little by little, simply with the intention of exploring the object's energy, moving it little by little with your palm facing forward like this, until you notice. A want, it could be an electromagnetic pressure, like two magnets repelling each other. Simply bring your hand toward the object and let yourself feel its energy. What does it convey to you? Do you feel softness? Do you feel density? Simply pay attention to the texture. Go on. Once you have lived this first experience, move on to the next one. The intention to explore very gently. Let's explore little by little. What does each of these things convey to me? Move your hand at your own pace. And as you go from object to object, you will notice there are subtle differences. Obviously, we are working with subtle energy. You have to develop that sensitivity, that subtlety, but I just want you to hold on to that first experience as you practice. If you need to pause the video and keep doing it, go ahead. I'm now going to mention a few key things to you. And the thing is, beyond the fact that, as I was telling you, every food obviously has different nutrients, right? Eggs have many nutrients. Red meat also has many nutrients. Mangoes, bananas, everything has many nutrients, right? On a general level, it could be considered healthy food. But we do realize that foods, even eggs which are of animal origin, have a denser energy. It even depends on the type of meat. It has different levels of density. That is to say, pork, for example, is the densest meat that exists. Conversely, when you explore a mango or a banana, you realize that the energy density, even if the mango was not grown in the best conditions, is always usually more subtle energetically. What does this mean? Ultimately, nature's energy is much more subtle, much more refined, much calmer than the energy of an animal, right? Which is an instinctive being that sometimes preys on one another, right? Or things like that. Or even that they have suffered when dying. The plant does not suffer like an animal suffers, right? When it dies, those processes, right? They happen in many different ways. There are some that suffer more, some that suffer less. What I can assure you is that lower quality meat is more energetically dense than other types of meat, even if it is the same meat, but much better cared for. Being in nature also changes a lot. The same thing happens with food, with vegetables, with anything. And that energy stays in the food. Just like if this shirt had been worn every day for 5 years by someone in a deep depression, when I put it on, I would experience those same consequences to a certain extent. And that can happen in our home, for example, when we are in a home where there is a lot of conflict, negativity, where someone has died, where on a sofa, perhaps for years, a person has been using substances or was very depressed, very down, or having very negative thoughts on a bed, on a cushion. All of that will energetically influence us, and you can explore it yourself. You can explore your cushion, right? Cushions are places where we sleep, literally where we sleep, and all our subconscious and dreams move there. You would realize that our cushion accumulates a lot of energy, our bed too. In the same way, if you explore the energy of a tree, you will feel a powerful energy, but it is subtle, fine, and calm. And well, I really hope you enjoyed this session a lot. that it gave you understanding. As I say, in the end, to explore objects, it is simply bringing your hand close, paying attention to the subtle sensations that awaken. And so, you will start to realize how every object, every food, has different textures. I hope you really enjoyed today's session. Any doubts, any questions, if you want to share your experience in the comment section, I will be super happy to receive your feedback. And if you want to join the Alquimia Vital School and learn a methodology with which we have healed thousands of cases of both physical and psychological ailments over the last few years through energy therapy, you can book a totally free consultation in the link in this description, so we can look at your particular case, whether you are a therapist or want to use it for personal use. I will also pin it in the first comment, and if it resonates with you and spots are currently open, because we open and close them, if you don't get in, you'll go on a waiting list. Just know that we will assist you as soon as we are operationally able to, because as I said, there is a lot of demand and we would be delighted to work with you. Sending you a hug. I hope that, as I said, you really enjoyed this class, and I will see you in the next one. I love you.